Hare Krishna, thank you all for coming tonight to our Sunday feast. You can now all turn and face this seat, and we'll have tonight's talk from 6 until 7. And tonight's talk will be given by Gaura Keshava Das Adhikari. I'm not sure where he is. He's right behind me. You found him. And Gaura Keshava Prabhu, you've been practicing Krishna consciousness for like 20 years now?
No, less, like
17, 18 years, something like that. And he's been living in San Diego for about 5 years now. They moved here in 2019. So he'll speak tonight, and his topic is managing the mind, and he'll be using this. Will we point on the projector? No. Okay. But he'll be speaking on managing the mind. Hare Krishna.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Jaya
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari
Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Jana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Munatira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamunatira Vanachari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. श्री श्री राधा गिरधारी भगवान की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरु वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखावितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमा ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणम्। Hare Krishna. We welcome all of you to the Sunday feast program, and I seek my blessings from all the Vaishnavas. Shri Mataji is here, and all the Srila Prabhupada disciples, and all of you, Parashakti Mataji. So today the topic that we are going to discuss is managing the mind. So in Sanskrit the word for mind is man. So it is very appropriate. Managing the mind. Man. Managing. So in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, text 6, there is a verse that is talking about the mind. It is Bandhur Atmanatas Tasya Yenat Maitu Atmana Jitaha Anatmanas Tu Satrutve Varte Te Atmate Shatrutvat. Anyone knows this verse by heart? This is a very important verse. I also don't know, so probably I have to memorize this one. But it's a very important verse. For him who has conquered the mind is the best friend. And for one who has failed to do so, the mind is the worst enemy, right? So the whole Bhagavad Gita, when you talk about the second chapter, the sixth chapter, they are covered with how to deal with the mind. So let us first understand what the mind is. So as we know, Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, in the Bhagavad Gita as it is, that he has given, in this there are very nice pictures, and one of the pictures in this is depicting a chariot which has 6 horses, and these horses are controlled by the reins, and there is a driver who's holding the reins, and then there is a passenger sitting on the chariot. So all these different horses depict our senses. So what are our 5 senses? Yes, right. Yes, smell, taste, touch, hearing, and taste, right? All these are 5 different senses. So these are all controlled by these reins. These reins are considered to be the mind. And who's holding these reins is the intelligence. Suppose you see something and you like something, then it gets stored in your mind as a thought. A thought is a subtle sound vibration. You're not speaking anything, but you're thinking within the mind. Oh, should I take this thing? Should I not take this thing? The function of the mind is basically willing, feeling, thinking. All those things are functions of the mind. And it gets stored in the mind as a storehouse. And the driver is the intelligence. Then the intelligence discriminates, whether I should do this or not do this based on my past experiences. And then the passenger is the Atma or the soul that is being seated. So all the experience that we are having right now, you are hearing sitting, I am speaking right now, we are having some nice breeze from the Pacific Ocean and very peaceful environment. All this we are experiencing because of the presence of the soul. The soul is actually tasting, the soul is actually seeing, soul is feeling when somebody touches or actually hearing. Everything is basically happening because of the presence of the soul. If you feed a dead person something, would he say, the taste is very good, it's bitter, little bit bitter or sour? No, right? So it is the presence of this Atma that Krishna is speaking in the second chapter so elaborately. It is because of the Atma that we are experiencing, seeing through the eyes, hearing through our ears, tasting through our tongue. All this is happening through the Atma. So the reason I wanted to give this analogy is because based on this analogy, you can understand that we are actually this soul. There's the constant thing that is within us is the soul. When we were a child and we are now 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever years old, what is that constant thread that is governing us? That is the soul. Even a person who is 60 or 70 years old, he still feels that he is very young. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, a 70-year-old person feels he is very young. Right or wrong? Right, so that's a testimony. Although the body may become frail, the teeth may fall down, the bones may dry up, or the hairs may become grey, whatever can happen, but the soul is always there. So it means we are not this body, we are the soul. And all these things that experiences we go through this lifetime of, different setbacks that are ingrained into our mind, or someone said to us something 20 years back and we are still worried about it. All these are just functions of the mind. It cannot touch the soul. The soul is always pure, is always happy, eternal, blissful. And when we realize this thing that we are the soul, we are not this temporary body or the mind, through this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita which is coming through a Guru Parampara, then we experience that happiness, then we get that fulfillment within ourselves. And Krishna is explaining in second chapter of Bhagavad Gita the qualities of the soul. Na jayate mriyate va kadachin, nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuya, ajo nityam sashvato ayam purano, na hanyate hanyamane sharire. The soul does not take birth, neither it dies, It just changes one body to another body. So whatever experiences we are getting in this life, whatever setbacks or happiness or distress, whatever honor, dishonor we are facing in this lifetime is just but a speck of this whole span of length and breadth of our eternal soul that is traveling through so many different bodies. So when we understand that thing, all these things really doesn't matter. The idea is that Krishna is telling Arjuna to bounce back, to fight back. Don't get depressed or in anxiety or lose hope. It is natural. All of us do that. It happens to us. But Bhagavad Gita is teaching how to handle that. So mind is like the glass that we are wearing. Srila Prabhupada often gives this example. If you are wearing a green color glass, what will you see? The world. You will see green color. If you are wearing red color, you will see red. So whatever colored glasses we are wearing, that is the perception. And in your whole experience of a lifetime, you won't find two people having the same perception about something. It is very rare. Everybody has different perception. So, for example, if you take a beautiful rose, we have a beautiful garden outside. Mukund Charan Prabhu takes care of it, and Dijimani Prabhu and Maharaj has so beautifully taken care of the garden outside. So if you see a beautiful rose flower, when somebody walks in from the Pacific beach, a couple walks first time to the temple, they will say, oh, this is such a beautiful flower, let me give it to my beloved. Right? They will think, let me share it with them. Or someone from UCSD walks in who's a scientist, who's a professor in botany. They will look at the flower as, oh, how has this color come to this flower? How is this tinged with hue of red and white? And what is the structure of this? He will think from that perspective. That's his perception. If somebody has allergies, he'll just stay away from the flower. And when we as devotees, we walk in to the garden, we see, look, beautiful rose. We think, oh, it will look so beautiful on the lotus feet of Shri Shri Giridhari or in the hand of Srimati Radharani. Right? That's how the devotee will look like. It's the same thing, it's the flower. But everybody is looking at the flower with a different perception. So, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yoma pashyati sarvatra sarvacha mai pashyati. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor is he ever lost to me. So when we see Krishna everywhere, then what happens? And sees everything in Krishna, then Krishna is never lost to that person, and nor is he even lost to Krishna. So Krishna also reciprocates to the degree we love Krishna. So when we are talking about this mind and the soul, then we also understand that the relationship of the soul to the Lord is eternal, because ultimately the soul is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. So when we understand this thing, we rise above fear and we rise above prejudice. So how we rise above fear is that we understand we are actually part and parcel of the Lord. So for example, there was an example given by a great leader in India. He is now around over 100 years old. So he was sharing that once he was traveling in the Arabian Sea. It was in 1930s that he was traveling, and the ocean was very much turbulent, and in the ship that he was traveling, it was about to topple. It was just like Prabhupada also mentions, when he was coming to America, the matchbox was like, the ship was like a matchbox. It was, toppling like this. So he said that when I was traveling in that ship, there was a child who was very, very happy. All the other people were screaming and howling, why I want to get out, give me a boat and give me some protection so that I can take the life jackets and everything. But this child was very happy. And he went to the child and he asked, how are you so peaceful? And the child replied that my mother is there, she will take care of me. And that was one of the life-changing events of this great leader, spiritual leader. He said, when I saw this, I was so amazed how you can rise above fear when you have that understanding that there is somebody to take care of you. So when we understand this, that yes, this Atma is a part and parcel of the Lord, we are all children of the Lord, then there is nothing to fear. Whatever good happens or bad happens to us, no one and nothing can change that relationship in our life. Even bad thing, worst thing can happen to us, but that relationship is still there. It will never perish. And another step toward higher consciousness is to rise above hate and selfish passion. So these are few things which actually disturb the mind. So we are just discussing like what are the things that disturb the mind and how can we understand those things and rise above those things to control, to manage the mind. So one is the fear that we already discussed, that we have a lot of fear of losing our loved ones, of losing what we love. But ultimately with time everything has to be, it will be taken away. You know, whatever we have, whatever we possess. But when we have that relationship to the Lord, then we understand how to handle those situations. And then we rise above hate and selfish passion. So, as we see in today's world, there is a lot of hate and there is selfishness that is there. Instead of being kind and compassionate, there is a lot of selfish passion that is existing. So, but when we understand that Lord is also present within each one of us as Paramatma, that living force is there in each one of us, then there is no question of hating each other. Whichever religion you are, whether you are belong to Judaism or Islam or Hinduism or Christianity or Zoroastrian or whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. Or whichever country you are from, whether you are from Mexico or China or India or America or Pakistan or Russia, it doesn't matter. So when we understand that relationship, actually we all are connected as brothers and sisters, you know, because of the presence of that divine living force. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya chaham hriday sani vishto matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha Vasudeva kutumbakam. That is, the whole world is a family. Then we rise above, you know, the negativities of the mind when we understand those things. Because if we love each other, if we understand, then there won't be any enviousness, there won't be any egoistic or selfish desires. And then we feel satisfied and fulfilled. So, and all these things, fear, envy, desires, they are caused due to disconnection from who we are. Because we don't understand who we are and how we are connected, that is why all these things come up. That is why we are fearful, we are envious, and that is why we have so many desires. So I wanted to talk about desires also. One of the problems that many people are so much in unhappy or in anxiety because of so many desires. Right? We have limited time, we have limited resources that we can attain, but due to so much of propaganda, you know, we have unlimited desires. I should do this, I should do that, she's doing this, he's doing that. So, you know, my neighbor got a new Tesla, whatever is the new model, Cybertruck. And probably I also want it, but I have to take a loan. So, but I'll still take a loan and I'll slog whole day and night. So, and then so many desires are there. It is not bad to have desires. We are not saying that. But the thing is, we understand what is our capacity, at what point we can be peaceful, at what point, you know, we'll be always in anxiety and we'll keep working very, very hard for that, which is not required. So in the Bhagavad Gita, there's a beautiful verse which talks about this. It says like an ocean. Like we have Pacific Ocean, so many rivers are coming, you know, into the ocean. But the ocean is still peaceful, very, very peaceful. So similarly, these rivers are compared to desires. So many desires can come to our mind through so many channels. We are reading something, hearing the news through our friends, through our office, through news channels, through so many different things, medias, social media, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, whatever it is. But how do we control all these things? So Bhagavad Gita tells apurmana machalam pratishtam, that all these desires come to our mind just like the flowing rivers, but a sober person is one who does not pay attention to so many desires. Only what is required, you focus on that, but do not pay attention. Just like an ocean is silent, it's very peaceful, so remain peaceful like that. Apurimana machalam pratishtam. So like that. This beautiful verse is there in the 2nd chapter. And yeah. So we always have a choice whether we want to take up that desire or not, you know. So many times people think that, oh, this thought is coming to me because Krishna wanted me to think about it. Like you walk into a room and some people are watching movie, which you should probably not watch. And you are saying, oh, Krishna put me in this condition because I should watch the movie, so I should watch. Right? But you should think that Krishna is testing you whether you are finishing your chanting or not, whether you come back or you stay there. Right? So you always have a choice whether you have to do the right thing or you do the wrong thing. Let's take example of a smoker, a chain smoker. He started with 1 cigarette a day. And it's 2nd, 3rd, 4th cigarette. Now he's having like 6 or 10 cigarettes every day. Every time he's smoking a cigarette, he has a choice whether he can smoke the next one or not. Right? But because he's being doing it, he's being conditioned. That is why he's doing it. But it is his choice whether to do or not. And then someone says, oh, it is my destiny. I got cancer. No, sir, it's not your destiny. Whatever you have done now has become your destiny. Whatever you've done in the past has become your destiny now. So our actions become our destiny. Right? And how do we do actions is based on the kind of association, based on the inputs that we take, what we are hearing, what we are seeing, what we are, what kind of association we are taking. Therefore, in the scriptures, association is given such a critical importance. It is one of the cardinal principles of spiritual life is to have very good association. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Koi. All the scriptures are saying you should have Sadhu Sangha. Because if you associate with someone who is kind of distracting you away from the right path, then it is very much probable that you will be distracted. Whoever we are, whether we are very great saints or whether we are great academically, you have many degrees, we have seen so many people who have got distracted. So are we really seeing through the glasses? We discussed about this red glass, green glass and blue glasses. And we identify ourselves with these dresses, whatever body we are in, we start identifying with this body, whether it is external or internal. And when we lose our inner fulfillment, we try to feel superior to others. When we do not get satisfied, we may buy so many things, we may share so many Facebook posts that, oh, I am very, very happy. We may get so much of external attestation that, yes, you are doing very good. But when we lose the inner fulfillment, we try to feel superior to others. That is why we try to feel superiors. Because we are not connected to ourselves internally. So that is very important how we spend time and try to nourish our inner, connection to the Lord. It is very, very important that we take out some time in the day. It can be just whatever you want to do. You want to, chant or read or go out for a walk and, spend some time thinking about yourself, introspecting, make a connection to the Lord. Some people like walk and chant, or some people can sit or read Bhagavad Gita or discuss. Whatever way is, suitable for you. So we do that activity which can actually ingrain our connection to the Lord. It's up to us. It's a personal choice how we do it, right? So there are so many different ways. There are 9 different forms of establishing connection in the Bhakti Yoga process. And how much time? Okay. And while we are doing this in the mind, there are so many thoughts. It's a storehouse of thoughts. There are some good thoughts and bad thoughts also. So we compare it in the Native American language. We say it's a good dog or a bad dog. So the bad dog is right like a greed, envy, pride, enviousness, trying to be superior to others, trying to procrastinate things and trying to be envious. All these things are the bad dogs. Are the bad dog only, just a dog. And the bad dog is barking very slowly, like that, very, very slowly. And the good dog is the quality of, love, compassion, kindness, and helping each other, and being equal to everybody, right? Inclusive. So all those are the qualities of a good dog. So good dog may bark loudly or it may bark, very slowly. So depends on what, like which dog will bark louder? Can anyone guess? How will we measure that which dog is barking louder? What is the criteria for that? Huh? Fear? The one you pay attention to. Okay. That's good, yeah. What, sorry? So it is said that within you there is a good dog and bad dog in the Native American thing. It's not actually, they are actually barking, but it's about the one who you feed more. Means the kind of inputs that you are giving, the kind of association that you are giving, what you are hearing, the people you are associating with, that dog will bark louder. The one you feed more. If you are feeding the dog more of enviousness, violence, so that's how you will respond to. Right? And if you are more exposed to, like in this like this is a temple kind of an environment where we are studying the scriptures and chanting and dancing and serving each other with love and compassion, so the good dog is getting fed. So whenever a situation comes, the good dog will respond in that situation. So that is the idea. And in order to create that inner fulfillment that we are talking about and the peace and connect our consciousness to the original source, we have this mantra. Mantra comes from the root word man. And mantra helps us to create that peace, that inner fulfillment that we are all looking for the soul. And we will talk a little bit about this mantra also. This is the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Who are coming here for the first time? Can raise your hand. Okay, no one. Okay. Okay. You are coming for the first time. I think you are also coming for the first time, right? You've been here. Okay. Sure. So I was just asking how much should I explain. So because this Maha Mantra is there, it comes from the word man. There are so many different mantras that are available. But this Maha Mantra is mentioned in the Kali Santarana Upanishad, and it explains that this mantra can actually give us that inner fulfillment, that peace, and it can actually give us the highest form of bliss that is ever attainable in this human form of life. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains in the Shiksha Ashtakam that whatever we are going through in this lifetime, Cheto Darpan Marjan, there is a dust on the mirror of the mind. It can clean that dust on the mirror of the mind so that we can see things as they are. Right? Cheto Darpan Marjanam Bhav Maha Davagni Nirvapanam. And this material world is like a Davagni. It's like a forest fire. And there are so many problems in this world because of our own body and the mind, through other people, through natural disasters like hurricane or tornadoes, and also because of so much disease we get, old age, so many problems are there. So it basically gives us that understanding to cross over all these different difficulties. And Cheto Darpa Marjam Bhav Mahadavagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairva Chandrika Vitaranam Vidya Vadhu Jivnam. And this is the crest jewel of knowledge. So getting this knowledge, there is nothing else that we need to know. This is the epitome of all the scriptural knowledge. So And while we are practicing this spirituality, it is not about just, practicing it only and then we go out and do whatever we want to do. No, it is about building our character. Like Srila Prabhupada, his own example, when he came to the West in 1965, he did not had any money. He just came with 40 rupees, which couldn't be converted into dollars also, right? And he came to the West, and he was very happy in India and Vrindavan. He was just happily living there and, reading the scriptures, associating with all the other saintly people, worshipping the Lord. But his character was so nice that he wanted to fulfill the desire of his spiritual master, number one, and number two, he was so compassionate. His heart was full of so much love that he wanted to give this love to everybody in the Western world also. And he did not distinguish whether one is learned or one is coming from what background. So the time when he came, 1965, those were like hippies were there. There were people who didn't even take bath for like many months. And he's a sadhu who would take bath like at least 3 times a day. So, and people were just gambling away their lives on the Bowery Street and in New York and 22nd Avenue, and he would make samosas for them. Making samosa is not easy. It takes a lot of time and energy. He was making samosa and feeding them, although he was 70 years old. So his character is very, very exemplary, which is described in the Bhagavad Gita in one of the verse. It says, Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shuni Chaiva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshina. It says, the humble sages by virtue of true knowledge sees with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog and a dog eater. So that is truly a learned person. So Srila Prabhupada is exemplifying those qualities. And when we treat everybody equal, then the mind can be peaceful. When we always try to discriminate, oh, this person is good, that is bad, then the mind will always be disturbed. So Srila Prabhupada, through his example, is teaching us how to manage the mind. And obviously, once we understand this thing that all of us should be treated equally, are children of God, there is another verse in Bhagavad Gita which talks about the connection between us, and that verse is Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam Gyatva Mam Shantim Richati. It says, a person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material desire. So when we understand that Krishna is the ultimate beneficiary of everything, the Supreme Lord, the well-wisher of living entities, attains peace. So many times we try to become controller and proprietor. Krishna is the controller and proprietor of everything. But we think everything should happen according to us. All the 8 billion people in the world should listen to what I am saying. And when something doesn't happen according to what I want it to happen, then we get very, very frustrated, very angry, right? And that causes so much of problem. So we understand that yes, we can do only so much. There are things that are in our control, but there are things that are beyond our control. In the Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says that in order for any action to accomplish, there are 5 things that are responsible, The instruments that you are using, the person that is involved, the soul, the super soul, so many different things. So yes, we do our best, whatever we can do, and leave the rest to God. So Arjuna was also like this, he said, Krishna, I don't want to fight. Krishna chastised him heavily. He said, no, you have to fight. You are a Kshatriya. It's a duty. At the same time, you also remember me. You have certain nature. We are born of certain nature, inclination. We want to do certain things. We do those things. At the same time, remember Krishna. There was a devotee who was in the hospital in India, and other devotees were going to see this devotee who was admitted. Then he met the doctor, and he said, Doctor, thanks to Krishna, my friend is saved. Then doctor says, I saved your friend. Where is Krishna here? So why are you thanking Krishna? So this devotee he didn't want it to challenge him much. But since, he started it, so he said, how many people die in your hospital every day? So he gave some number, And then he says, are you responsible for the death? Because you are claiming that you saved his life, then people who are dying, you are also responsible. But there was other doctor, he had a quote on his desk. He says, do your best, leave the rest to God. So he did his best surgery, and after that he left to God. Now you take care. Right? It's a symbiotic relationship, So there are different levels of giving credits. There is an immediate cause, there is a intermediate cause, there is a supreme cause. Immediate cause can be you, yes, you are doing the effort. Intermediate cause can be all the teachers that you have helped or all the other people who are helping you. But the supreme sanction is coming from the Lord, whether to save someone or not. A multi-millionaire can spend, millions of dollars in Scripps Ranch Hospital, and some farmer in India may, still survive, without. So it's the Lord who's, saving. Ultimately, yes, we have to do our best. We have to take the medicine. We have to do our best efforts. So the propaganda in today's world is that the more I acquire, the happier I will be. And there are so many things and people who will actually deviate us into that direction. More and more and more. We will not be happy with what we have currently. We are not grateful. And because of that, many people lose even what they have. Have you seen that? I have some friends who, it was during COVID time, they are educated from the best universities. But they got distracted, in the COVID time, somebody sent them a message. Some women send this devotee a message. Not exactly a devotee, but another husband of a devotee. And so many other examples I have where, people get distracted. They lost millions of dollars. Best education, best background, still people lose it because the greed is there that more I acquire, the happier I will be. We went to Los Angeles near Beverly Hills. There is a suicide prevention center there. I was thinking, why is it there? It's the most richest place in the world. So the more you acquire cannot make you more happy. Generally, we measure the progress of a country by GDP, gross domestic product, right? But where are we measuring the gross happiness product? That's not measured. That is also very, very important criteria for our success in life. So in order to manage the mind, there are 3 S that we recommend based on the scriptures. The first S is our sadhana, which is a regular practice, spiritual practice. And to this practice, there are 2 impediments. One is egoism and laziness. Laziness and egoism are very big impediments to this sadhana principle. And second is satsang. Satsang is what we are doing, associating with saintly people, like-minded people, to help to refocus each other what's of true value. Because when we go out, we are often distracted from our goal. But when we come here, we are recalibrated. And sadachar is the behavior, what we speak and choose to do to our character. Sadachar is our character. What we are doing when nobody is there, that is a character. And how we are dealing with integrity and honesty. Because if our character is good, then Krishna actually reciprocates with us. Because in the Bhagavad Gita, there are so many qualities of saintly people that are given. So what are the 3 S? Number 1, anyone? Sadhana, satsang, and sadachar, character. So the whole purpose of the scriptures is actually to build characters. All the other things like knowledge and whatever other things has to come, that is just a byproduct of it. The ultimate goal of scriptures is to build a strong character. Because a strong character is needed in the society to be exemplary. Yadyad achrati shreshtas tatta devetaro jana. Whatever a great man does, common people follow. Right? So That is very, very important. And therefore Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, the one who explains this secret to others is very dear to me through the example. Not just somebody speaks that, but also lives by that example. So Krishna is very, very pleased. Our gurus, Srila Prabhupada has exemplified his character. Somebody asked Srila Prabhupada, how did you build so many temples? You came with nothing. So Srila Prabhupada says when he gave an example of someone trying to build a business, and he has nothing. He said that you walk to a street and then there you find a pumpkin. You pick up that pumpkin and then you walk further and you find a string. So you tie the string to the pumpkin, it becomes a guitar or a violin, whatever. And that's how somebody who has no money, they start a business like that. So similarly, when I came to the West, I had nothing. And this is how Srila Prabhupada established these temples, these congregations, simply on the basis of the instructions of his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So it is very, very important for us the importance of a teacher, the Guru in our parampara. Krishna is in the 4th chapter, he is telling to take shelter of Guru. Arjuna accepted Krishna as the Guru. Sandipani Muni is the Guru of Krishna when he comes to the material world. Lord Ram had Vashishta Muni, Vishwamitra Muni, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took Ishwar Puri. So many examples the Lord is exemplifying through him, that we should accept the shelter of a Guru who can guide us, who can empower us, and how to handle difficult situations in the life. So, and we can connect our heart to the Gurus, to the teachings, to the words of our Gurus, and to the teachings of Krishna. It's the same teachings that are coming through the Guru Parampara. So Srila Prabhupada exemplified that importance, and he gave us this Hare Krishna Mahamantra for us to tune into the inherent love that is within us. This love of Krishna is actually already there in all of us. It is inherent. It just has to be uncovered. So it's like a radar, the signals are there all over the place. You just need a receiver to receive it. So when Srila Prabhupada came, then in the Tompkins Square Park, how many of you have been to Tompkins Square Park? New York? Okay, many of you. So there is a placard that is kept that Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada sat here and sang. And I went there and there was devotees telling that 50 years back there were a lot of trees of the same breed there, but only that tree is still there, other trees died. Where Srila Prabhupada chanted. That tree is still there. And that place is still there, the Matchless Gift, where he, started taking classes, and he would cook and he would, serve all those who were coming. So he was very, very grateful for even for small service if somebody would do. Somebody just came and got a toilet roll, and Srila Prabhupada says, yes, keep it. He was very happy about, even for small service somebody does for Krishna. Krishna never forgets this. So many things we do in this world, those are lost, whatever we acquire, whatever we do, but Neha Bikramo Nashosti Pratyavayo na Vidyate Swalpamapi Asya Dharmasya Trayato Mahatopada. Whatever we do in the spiritual path, that is never lost. It will continue forever. That is what Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita. And whatever we do, even if we are not able to complete it fully, Krishna guarantees that next life we will start from there. ABCD we have to start, even if we are postdoctoral 3 times, next life we have to start with ABCD. Right? But this thing, Krishna is saying, Shuchinam Srimatam Gehe Yogo Brashta Vijayate. That we will take birth in a house of a saintly person or in an aristocratic family, so that we can easily pursue our spiritual life. So that guarantee is there. So yes, let us take shelter of this process, what Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Parampara, Brahma Madhav, Gaudiya Sampradaya is giving us, and connecting us to the lotus feet of Krishna, the real connection of the soul to the Paramatma, to the super soul, and that is how we can, rise above these challenges of the mind. We can manage the mind. And when we develop higher taste, so many challenges mind can pose us, but when we develop a higher taste, then all these lower things can go away. When we focus on what is really important for us, then we continue refocusing our mind on those things, then the things which are not required will automatically go away. Now, that is one of the very important principles of the mind. So Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says that developing higher taste. What is that verse? For higher taste, param drishtva nivartate. Developing a higher taste, So when you are engaged in certain activity which is, you like doing it, you are very passionate about it, right? Then you actually forget about all the difficulties and pain that you have, right? Like a child, he may get hurt, he or she may get hurt, but when you give a candy or whatever they like, they forget about that pain. Isn't it? There is a example we are talking about, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. He had so many problems, health problems. So he was in Pune and he was admitted in the hospital, and the devotees told him that there is a program in, no, he was in Mumbai actually, and the program was in Pune. He told him that, there is a program and you can preach, you can speak about Krishna there. The doctor says, no, we will not allow him to go because his condition is not good. So, and then he was saying, no, I have to go. But then all the devotees said no. But then finally the devotee said, we cannot take the decision, let us go to the doctor. And the doctor said, after he discussed with him, so the doctor said that he likes to speak, he likes to preach Krishna consciousness to others, and that is the thing that will make him the most happy. So let him go. If he stays here, he will not be happy. So the example is, if you like doing something, you do with all your heart and soul, you are engaged engrossed in such a way that you forget about other things, and that also gives you good health, right? So we should do some activities which kind of make us happy, which kind of are connected closer to us, which is our natural swabhava, natural nature. We should take out some time for that. And obviously for the body we need good sleep, and time for ourselves to nourish ourselves. So unless and until we are nourished ourselves, we cannot give anything to others. Just like in the flight they say, first secure your mask before putting on to others. So it is very important for that. Or somebody is drowning, so how do you save them? First you should know how to swim. Only then you can save the other person. Lifeguard. So yes, it is very, very important to take care of our own health, and then we can help others also in that way, be kind and compassionate in that way. So these are some of the thoughts that I have. So if you have any comments or questions, please let me know. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yes, ma'am.
Can our souls, while being in our body, in our life, before we die and after we die, develop friendships and have those as memories in our soul? Past.
Yes, so basically when we die, the soul basically carries the subtle body, the mind, with it. So those impressions will be in the mind. But that is the general trend. But if you get liberated, so then the mind will no longer be there. The soul will actually be detached from all these impressions of the mind at that time. Just like the example in the scriptures is given of a coconut, A coconut is there, once it becomes little ripe, it will lose the shell. The shell will be loosened and the inner coconut will be separate. So you consider the mind is attached to that soul, it will detach from it when it is in the liberated state. So, but yes, in general trend, that's why you see a lot of cases of reincarnation and people remembering their past lives, right? Because that impression is getting carried. So some people may be hydrophobic, they are fearful of water. Some people may be fearful of heights. Some people may be fearful of some weapons or something. So that is because something happened in the previous life. So those expressions are getting carried to the next life because of the presence of the mind. And it can also come in the body sometimes. We have seen some cases, somebody was shot there or something. Next body, those impressions are, sometimes there, something like that. Because mind is very subtle, and then, it can also come to the body also if it is a very deep impression like that. Yeah. So this is a very, psychology, there's a lot of research going on all these things. So it is a meta science. But basically we have to harmonize, psychology, spiritual science and the material science. When we harmonize, we understand, then when we can deal better with all these situations and understand them in a better way. Does that answer your question? Okay, thank you. Okay, if I think it's 7 o'clock, if nobody has any comments, then we'll close. So next will be Kirtan, Prabhu. Okay, announcement.